Welcome back to the Blue, Albertson Stadium, home of your Boise State Broncos, the bastion of Bronco Nation, a field of dreams where greatness has become a tradition. Whether you're new to Idaho and this is your first game, or your family has had season tickets for 3 generations, Lithia Ford of Boise wants you to know you're welcome here.
Well, greetings, Boise State fans. Welcome courtside here at ExtraMile Arena. Boise State getting set to host Tulsa in a big game for the Broncos. Boise State is 3-4 on the season. Obviously, Tulsa 4-3, and Boise State certainly trying to get some things figured out. The free throw woes in the last game, obviously, and certainly some things that Boise State's going to have to get figured out. 12 of 26 from the free throw line, and they're looking to avoid a 3-game losing streak, which would be their first at home. In I think since 2012. So Boise State's on the court warming up. We got some video we can show you as well. That's Tulsa. Tulsa's warming up at the other end of the court as you see kind of what's going on here as we get you set. Big thank you to Lithia Ford of Boise. Lithia Ford of Boise, a love of community in the sports that bring us together. That's why Lithia Impression News. But no matter what your team colors you wear, Lithia Ford wants you to know you're welcome here. And again, now the big breaking news for Boise State: Devonair Dutrieve is no longer part of the roster. Devonair Dutrieve, the Boise State guard, has been removed from the roster, dismissed from the team. He is gone. So you can see the clock behind me. 38 minutes till tip-off here at ExtraMile Arena. Boise State getting set for this one. And some big news is Devonair Dutrieve averaged about 9 points a game. He is no longer on the roster. So Boise State certainly is going to have to figure out some things. Tyson Degenhart likely will be the player to move into the starting lineup. But it's a big loss. I mean, Dutrieve is a guy that averaged 9 points a game. Played 18 games last year and had a pretty good year, and then all of a sudden you think he's of 16 from the free throw line, and again had just 12 assists to 11 turnovers. If you have a question or a comment, by the way, this is kind of interactive. We'll be back post game as well, but if you have a question or a comment and you want to get it in, feel free. Now's the time. So what do you think of Devonair Dutrieve being kicked off the team? What do you make of Tyson Degenhart likely keeping his spot in the starting lineup? Please let me know. Let me know what you think about that, because it's certainly big news, for Boise State, and big news for this program. That one of their best players, Devonair Dutrieve, top 100 recruit, one of the best recruits in program history, is no longer on the roster. I'm going to get our intern, Colin Mitchell, to come down and shoot the other team. Colin Mitchell is manning the camera. He is our intern tonight, our associate reporter. Happy to have him on board, and you will get to see some of him. We, of course, had it set up. Boise State was warming up on the court. We were going to show you some warm-ups, and the minute we started this thing, Boise State goes off back to the locker room. So apologize for that. We'll try to time it better so we can show you Boise State's warm-ups moving forward. But again, the big news, Devonair Dutrieve is off the team. Tyson Degenhart comes in, 11 points, 6 rebounds in 37 minutes is what he did before. And here's Tulsa warming up. We'll give you some footage of the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes warming up before this one. It's be an interesting game tonight for Boise State, because they've got to win this. Boise State's lost 2 in a row. Certainly cannot afford to lose a third game in a row. They lost that overtime game to St. Louis. That was obviously a very, very, very tough game for the Broncos to lose that one. And so we'll see what happens. Again, Tulsa comes in at 4-3. Boise State is 3-4. Tulsa's got a very interesting story. How about this? Jariah Horn, he leads Tulsa at 19.1 points per game. Well, he plays for Tulsa. He used to play for Tulsa, but in the middle, he played for Colorado. He was the second leading scorer last year for Colorado. He started at Tulsa, transferred to Colorado, then comes back where he starts at Tulsa, and he's now averaging 19.1 points per game at Tulsa, shooting 51.5% from the field, 47.4% from three-point range. Now, Tulsa's shooting the ball pretty well, 45% this year, but they're also giving up 46.3% for the opponents. So could be a high-scoring game tonight, so to speak. Tulsa scores a lot, also gives up a lot of points as well. These two teams did play back in 2019, by the way, 69-56 loss for Boise State. Boise State went down to Tulsa 2 years ago. This is a return game for that, but the game was supposed to be last year, and then COVID came, and then obviously the game didn't happen. So, got a couple of minutes here. If you got a question or a comment regarding Boise State, again, we'll be back live for the post-game show. The post-game show after the game, if Boise State wins, will feature a player or coach. We're very appreciative to Boise State Athletics for helping us out with this. And this is kind of a new venture we're trying here at Bronco Nation News. So thanks again, Lithia, Florida, Boise. Thanks again to rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. And just having some fun here. Talking Boise State basketball. And again, the big news, Devonair Dutrieve is no longer on the team. And Boise State will be relying on a freshman, Tyson Degenhart. I think Pavle Kuzmanovic is another guy that's going to get a lot of playing time. He was a guy that was actually pretty impressive at times. He came in hit a couple of those huge threes. There were some other points in the game where those guys really stepped up and hit some big shots for Boise State. So I know on the surface it looks like Devonair Dutrieve, one of the best players to leave the team. But when you look at some of the things that Devonair Dutrieve did or didn't do, and what some of the other guys do, I think it's going to be a net positive. We do have a comment here on the screen. And again, get yours in. Feels like this is addition by subtraction with the roster change. How will this affect our depth, do you think? And very good question, because, there was some talk already. Are they going to have to redshirt anybody? Do you all of a sudden have to pull the red shirt off an RJ Keene? I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think tonight they're going to end up redshirting anybody. If I had to guess, they probably just get Max Rice some more minutes, and maybe a Cassian Pryor is ready to step up and play some big minutes. I mean, Pryor is a 6'8", 6'9" wing that I think they really like, and maybe it's his time to shine a little bit for Boise State. So I think initially, at least, they're not going to do that or think about doing that. But obviously, a lot can change depending on what happens in terms of depth and things with the roster and things like that. But right now, I think they're okay. I think they just give more minutes to Degenhart. He played 37 minutes in the last game. You give more minutes to Pavle Kuzmanovic, who, again, hit some big threes. I was very impressed with what I saw from him. So I think you just kind of see what you got tonight. But this is a game that you've got to win. And, when I talk about what some guys do that other guys don't do, Devonair Dutrieve, very, very talented individually, but like to dribble, like to have the ball in his hands. Wasn't necessarily the most team-first guy when it came to looking to move the ball and things like that. So you trade him for a guy like Tyson Degenhart, who's going to catch it and look right to pass. I think what this team needs is another kind of glue guy like that. So, individually, Devonair Dutrieve was a very talented player, but I just think big picture for what this team needs, what this team has, big picture, I think, potentially there's some things that he has that's, that Tyson Degenhart has and that Pavle Kuzmanovic has that Devonair Dutrieve doesn't do for this team. So I think overall it's going to prove to be a net positive in the long run. And, I mean, how can you not be impressed with what you saw from Tyson Degenhart? The freshman came in, just played unbelievable. And 37 minutes, as I said, 11 points, 6 rebounds, was able to drive to the rack and tie the game with a big bucket and did some other things big as well. So I think that, this is certainly a chance for Boise State to kind of, get back on the winning track. I mean, you can see the warm-ups here. We're just about 31 minutes until tip-off, 31 minutes till tip-off. You got the band filing in. You got the crowd starting to file in a little bit. I'll be very curious to see what the crowd is tonight. But again, got to thank rowpaint.com, Lithia, Florida, Boise. Lithia, Florida, Boise, paying top dollar for used cars and trucks, even if you don't buy from us. It's all done in 3 easy steps. You just share your vehicle information, you make an appointment, and you get a cash offer from our appraiser while you wait. It's hassle-free on the spot. That's Lithia, Florida, Boise. They're making this thing possible for us. We're going to do this every game. Every Boise State basketball game for the rest of the season, we will have a live video previewing the game and a live post-game show. I'm really excited about the post-game show to be able to bring you about 15 minutes after the game ends, live interviews, live with players and coaches, and live reaction. We'll take your comments. We'll take your questions. So when this game's over, come back here to Bronco Nation News after every game, just to know on the channels of Bronco Nation News and the website bronconationnews.com if that's your spot to go to, and that's going to be it's going to be a pretty cool thing for Boise State. And looking forward to doing this moving forward. And again, sorry for the timing here that there's no players warming up on the court. We messed up the timing, but come on back after the game. Lithia, Florida, Boise post-game show, Boise State, Tulsa. But the big one for Boise State, they got to make free throws tonight. Got to make free throws tonight. It's certainly just a huge, huge game for Boise State. And if they want to get back on track, end this losing streak, and try to salvage what's left of this non-conference season here, you got to make some free throws. 12 of 26 from the free throw line for Boise State, and certainly that's something that's got to improve for Boise State if they're going to win some games. So we'll be back post-game. Appreciate you guys checking out the pregame show. Again, Tyson Degenhart will probably be in the starting lineup because Devonair Dutrieve is no longer on the roster, and obviously we'll be following everything, and you can follow us on the social media channels of Bronco Nation News. We've had 2 subscribers pop in here while we're sitting here, so appreciate that. You can check out BroncoNationNews.com if you want to jump on and be a subscriber. I've seen my phone go off twice, so that's pretty cool to see. So thanks again, BroncoNationNews.com. We'll talk to you later. 7 o'clock, the game is streaming on the Mountain West Network. The Mountain West Network at 7 o'clock for Boise State and Tulsa. We'll be back post-game, folks. Appreciate you for checking us out. And thanks again, Lithia to Boise for the pregame show.
Welcome back to the Blue, Albertson Stadium, home of your Boise State Broncos, the bastion of Bronco Nation, a field of dreams where greatness has become a tradition. Whether you're new to Idaho and this is your first game, or your family has had season tickets for 3 generations, Lithia Ford of Boise wants you to know you're welcome here.